Hello everyone, welcome to quarter two. I just wanted to do a quick video to help introduce this week's assignments. We are discussing sales tax in this first lesson, and I've just noticed that some students in the past have gotten a little confused on this section because of the wording of some of the questions. So I just wanted to clarify this with you. So it talks about sales tax. Now sales tax is what is added to a purchase when you go to the store. So for example, if you go to Walmart and you buy a t-shirt and the t-shirt is, let's say it's $10, our sales tax in Idaho is 6%. So if your shirt is $10, then you're going to have to add another 60 cents to that total purchase price. So your total price would be $10.60 when you purchase a t-shirt. Now on this assignment, it's asking you to sometimes add up the percentages of the state tax as well as the city tax. Now in Idaho, we don't have a different sales and city tax, it's just 6%. But in these examples, sometimes they do ask you to add the sales tax for the state as well as the city tax and then have a percentage. For this first example, it's just telling you the sales tax in Arizona is 5.6%, that Jacqueline bought a television for $339, and then they're saying how much is Jacqueline going to pay in sales tax. So on this, it's actually quite simple. This $339 is the price that the store set for the television, so it does not include tax. So she's going up to the register and they're going to add 5.6% to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 5.6% to $339 and get your answer. Now what I want to be clear on is that you have to pay close attention to how to convert a percentage to a decimal. If you multiply 339 times 5.6, you are going to have a very large number, and it is going to be a lot larger than 339. When you are looking at sales tax, it is a fraction of the amount that you pay. So your answer should always be less than the purchase price. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. If you see your answer comes out to be $600 and the purchase price was $339, know that you probably didn't have your decimal in the right place. So when you convert a percentage, you move the decimal over to the left 2 places. And so it's showing you this right here. Now I've noticed on some calculators, you'll see that they have the little percentage icon. You should be able to just do 5.6% and have it then display it as 0.056. However, for some reason on this calculator, it wasn't working for me. But then when I went to a different calculator like this one, 5.6%, it keeps it as a percentage, so it's going to convert it, and then times 339 equals 18.984, which is what the answer is right here. Now, 18.984 is not an actual amount for money that I would pay at a store. You have to round to the nearest cent. Do not write out your answer to the third decimal place. You have to have it to the hundredths. So 18.98 would be the answer for this question. So again, make sure that you're rounding these. Whenever we're dealing with money, you have to round to the nearest cent, okay, which is only 2 decimal places. So when you're doing these practice problems, you'll see that they're all the same. We've got 6%, so it's got to be 0.06 times 82.45, rounded to the nearest cent, and so forth. Now, as you scroll down, you'll notice that this is where it starts combining the sales tax and the city tax. So some states do have larger total sales tax added on because they have a state and a city tax. So on these questions, when it's telling you that there's a sales tax or a state tax of 5.5% and an additional 1.5%, you have to add those up first. So it's going to come to 7%, then you're going to move that decimal over and you're going to figure out your total sales tax. Okay, so make sure you're adding those up first, then you're multiplying it by the purchase price. Lesson 4 is just about cash and then giving change. And this is just a great lesson for when you go to the store and you pay and you know how much change you should receive, because sometimes they give you the wrong amount back. So again, we're talking about if you give them $20, your price is $17.33. You subtract that, and that's how much change you should get back. Again, make sure that you're right, putting the dollar sign there on your answers. And all of these are examples of that. So if you give them $5, it's only 37 cents. How much change should you get back? But then as we get down to the second part of it, you have to make sure that you're reading the question carefully. So this first part, it says, Justin bought 2 packs of gum for 89 cents each, and then 3 sodas at $1.35 each. So you need to figure out what was the total purchase price first, and then you paid with a $10 bill. So how much change should you get? So you did 2 packs of gum, so you have to multiply that by 2 to get $1.78. 3 sodas equals $4.05. Add those together, there's your total price, then you can subtract it. So these questions just have an extra step, and you need to make sure you're paying close attention to this. If it says 2 packs of gum at 89 cents total, then obviously you're not going to multiply that by 2. But if it says 89 cents each, then you're going to make sure that you're multiplying that by 2. And then just make sure you're working through the questions here. And then finally, this last portion, this gets real confusing when they're explaining how to do change by addition. Really what I want you to do on this part is to come up with how much change this person needs to get first, and then figure out what type of currency you're going to be giving them. Okay, obviously if the change amount is $2.55, you're going to give them $2 bills, 2 quarters, and a nickel. I don't want to see that you're going to give them 8 quarters to represent the $2, and then 5 dimes and 5 pennies. Okay, you have to make sure that you're doing the largest amount of currency that you can give. So that is what this section is all about here. So when it does ask you to write out the change, and it will specifically say that in the question, make sure you're doing it somewhat like this example right here. Okay, start with the largest amount that you can give first, and you don't need to actually put the amounts right here. Don't worry about putting these in here, but just tell me the total change amount is going to be $10.76, and then what are you going to give them? And hopefully this helps you on this lesson.